Hello and welcome everyone. Very happy that we are all together again. In this tutorial we will start talking about the different types of the electrical faults. So fasten your belt and let's get started. The aim of this tutorial is to start categorizing the different types of the electrical faults according to the different phases that we categorize the electrical faults according to them. So let's go ahead. The first factor we can categorize the electrical fault according to it is the number of phases that are exposed to the electrical fault. So we have some different types under that category, and the first type we have now is the single line to ground fault. And at that time only one line has a fault condition, so it's connected by a mistake to the ground as you see here, while the two phases or the two other phases are healthy as they have no fault. Also, the second type that we have according to the number of phases is the double line to ground, as at that case there are two phases that are connected by fault to the ground, so they are connected to each other and then to the ground. Here those two phases S and T, while the third phase R is healthy as it has no fault. So that's about the second type. And for the third type, it's called line-to-line fault, and at that fault we have two lines that are connected to each other, but they are not connected to the ground. So the ground is healthy with no problem, and also the phase R is healthy. And the only difference between the type and the previous one is that the two phases here are not connected to the ground, but on the previous type the two phases were connected to the ground. Very good. Now, the fourth type we have is the three-phase fault, and at that type there is a short circuit between the three phases, but they are not connected to the ground as they are just connected to each other by mistake that produces that fault condition. And finally, we have the final type under that categorizing process, which is the three-phase fault to ground. So this type is similar to the previous one, except that the three phases here are connected to the ground, while on the previous case the three phases were not connected to the ground. So the three phases here are connected to each other, and then by mistake they are connected to the ground. Very good. So that's about the first categorizing process according to the number of phases, and on the next tutorial we will continue illustrating the rest of the categorizing types. Hope that's clear right now. Thank you for watching and see you next tutorials.